The way I set my goals nowadays is to try and have like yearly plans or like monthly plans. So say for example, I know that in 5 or 6 years time, I would want to be one of the best sprinters in the world. That's like at the end of the goal setting. And so I just work backwards. So if I want to be the best in the world, then what times do I need to run? What do I need to be doing in races? What does my training need to look like? What does my mindset need to look like? And then I bring it all the way back down to like step 0. And then it feels more realistic because I feel like there's a pathway. In the height of lockdown, a normal day was like waking up at like 12 p.m, going to the park to try and train, trying to be motivated, coming back, having a late breakfast, a late lunch, a late dinner, going to bed late. Like, I was really out of routine because the Olympics was postponed and I sort of had lost my motivation. But I think as things started to progress and we were allowed to come back into our facilities, I think it was July we were allowed back in. And it's sort of getting ready for this season. I've had a bit of normality back into my structure, so waking up at like 7 now, training at 9, coming back home, having a healthy lunch, stretching, recovering, and just back to my daily routine. So the days are not as glamorous now, but off the back of lockdown, I'm really grateful for routine and like normality. I think that's something that everyone misses, some sort of normality. And for me, it's just coming to the track and being able to train every day. This year we sort of went a lot harder. I think because we lost 2020, it was important for me to sort of like get a lot of hard gym work in, a lot of fitness work in, probably a lot more than I've ever done before. But I think it was necessary because I guess as everyone says, it's Olympic year, right? So you want to sort of do as much as you can. And that was one thing I sort of adopted. My mental approach is sort of just maintain that because I sort of got to a really good point of it. Food-wise, I sort of just trying to tailor my diet a little bit more to get towards the season, just sort of like smaller portions of food, but like higher sources of protein, and just doing things that sort of like promote like brain recovery and energy systems and that kind of thing. At the moment, I'm sort of just building up my races towards the Olympic trials in June, which will be on the 26th of June. So that's like the next big event coming up. But everything we're doing now is sort of just seeing where training's at, seeing where my body's at, and tweaking things to just be ready for that day. I think my last proper competitive race, I'd probably say 2019 at the World Championships. So obviously 2019 was like a really good year in the sense of like winning the British title and qualifying for my first World Championships. And I guess with COVID, I haven't really stepped out into a super competitive field since then. So it's been a lot of training, a lot of just preparing. So I'm kind of excited to sort of see what the new version of me looks like post-pandemic. Am I going to be better than I was before? Am I going to be worse? Like, I think just like everyone has those natural anxieties, but I'm more so excited because I feel like I've trained really well this year. So I'm just excited to see what that looks like in a racing scenario now. Honestly, I think in those last 5 minutes, you're sort of in you're like in airplane mode, and it's very like, that sort of like arrogant, confident side has to come out of you because everything's got to be geared towards, all right, I'm getting to the finish line first. And it's very autopilot. So for me, it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to execute my race plan and I'm going to win. That's all I think about. At that point, it's really critical because if there's like one slip of doubt or confusion that comes into your brain at that point, I think the race is done. So a lot of the time it's just like laser focus, I'm here to win sort of thing. Yeah, I do. It's something that I sort of work on every day, and I've been lucky enough to have a psychologist that I work with quite closely on that. And a lot of it is like sort of things that I take in, like maybe interviews or podcasts I listen to, try to take sort of encouragement and advice from people who have been in my situations before and sort of get an idea of what their mental strength was like. And that sort of just helps me critique my own. So if there's stuff that they say that I already do, I feel, okay, I'm on the right track. And if there's some things I haven't done before, I sort of say, okay, maybe I could implement that to some of the things that I'm doing, and just sort of try and take in things from my environment as well. Building up my videography skills, actually. That's sort of like a hobby / passion I have on the side away from athletics, which sort of gives me a good balance and escape from the intensity of running. And I got the opportunity to do some work for Adidas actually, just before the pandemic hit, and like that was received really well with people in that industry, and hopefully it's a field I can go into when I retire. So that was something I was really proud of myself with, for sure. Yeah.